All right, man, Torture Talk. 6 o'clock show, 6 o'clock show. Thank y'all for being here with me. I appreciate it. This is the 6 o'clock show. So today, Deleted has released a new video talking about GNX, and he goes through it. I want to watch this with y'all. Man, let's get it. So look, this is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work on your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, links is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. Hey man, I gave out that gift today, the Cash App gift. So I might do another one next week. Yeah, somebody's gonna leave it in the comments who had got it, so y'all see it. Yeah, man. Let me know where you from. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13,000. And yeah, I'm the King of the North, so let me know what kingdom you from. All right, so let's get to it, man. I know that was kind of choppy, but man, sometimes you got a lot on your brain. You gotta just push through. All right, man. So let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it.
All I ever wanted was a black grand national. Fuck being rational, give them what they asked for.
Last of a dying breed. GNX is a car that released in the year 1987, the same year Kendrick was born. They only made one model of this particular vehicle. And with this generation of hip-hop, I guess it's safe to say that this vehicle represents Kendrick Lamar. I also feel like GNX is a shout out to the Generation X. This is the generation that's before the millennials. Kendrick Lamar and I myself are millennials. Gen X to me is the best generation. I mean, because of their morals, their integrity, their strive for greatness, their brutal honesty. They are the first true rebels when it comes to popular culture. Their creativity are still being used and replicated to this day. The first to say fuck you and fuck this. The OGs that stood on principles. The very generation that hold a lot of hip hop greats like Pac, Eminem, Nas, Hove, Ye, the list goes on. So when I take a glance at the word GNX and the meaning behind the car itself, I feel like Kendrick is showing you why he's one of the last great MCs in hip hop. So GNX dropped on a Friday. I'm late as hell. It dropped about 2 Fridays ago. I don't even know why we even doing this video because it's late.
I mean, I guess I would be a part of that. Also too, I thought it was Gangsters in Christ. Gangsters in Christ. G and X. X would be like Christmas. Xmas. That's what I thought. But you got a point there. Generation X. I mean, Gen Z. That's pretty decent.
He dropped it out of nowhere. Not trying to compare him to a pregnant female, but you know how pregnant females be hiding their pregnancy, and then out of nowhere they're like, "Bam, you a daddy now." It was like one of those situations. Nah, that's a bad analogy.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Kendrick smacked us across the face with an album, told us to shut up and listen. This dude said, "Fuck J. Cole's inevitable. We don't care. Might as well delete that too. No one cares, gang. Go pedal off somewhere." I see you guys get mad when I still take shots at J. Cole, but I mean, come on. You guys took him out the beef and I did it. If this was a street squabble, he'd be the dude knocked out on the ground and the other two would still be fighting above him. He's still there. So I've been waiting for Kendrick to drop something that brings back the energy that pulled me in from the start. The look out for Detox flow against a heavy beat back in those digital drip and Dat Piff download days. What y'all know about that? Not saying that I didn't appreciate his entire catalog though, but I appreciate the Kendrick that gives us that unapologetic wordplay with the penetrating beat, pause, and crazy delivery, but also will give us the...
I could agree with that. I'll tell y'all like this. On I believe Saturday, I'm gonna be dropping my Kendrick best Kendrick Lamar albums, and what will be number one. Guys are gonna be shocked, actually, at how I feel about it. But I will say that this joint is in heavy rotation. I'm still listening to this album since it came out.
Vibes we could chill with a breezy with. During hip hop civil war, Kendrick came back from his hiatus with a clear mission to remind everyone why he is the greatest MC. The harsh flows and dark bars were back, but something about him felt different. Kendrick wasn't the hero people tried to label him as, that his new Mr. Morale stand base tries to bottle him into. He seemed more villainous, as if life and maturity had reshaped him. The reflective Mr. Morale persona was gone during this beef. Kendrick wasn't playing the role of the good guy anymore. He stepped in as the boogeyman, ready to dominate. Just a week after Apple gave him Rapper of the Year title, Kendrick Lamar is officially back with an album. I was on vacation for my son's B-Day. My baby boy turned 5. You feel me? I took him to a Disneyland vacation, 5-day trip type beat. We had a blast. I was in line for a ride when my phone started blowing up about Kendrick's drop. I actually caught it fast thanks to my Discord. I seen it happen in real time. First the teaser and then the album, but I didn't get to listen to the entire album until the following Monday. I waited patiently. Kendrick the Da Vinci Code Lamar dropped GNX the same day as the JFK assassination, and that was eerie and satisfying as fuck. Really took the headshot to Aubrey Graham Cracker. He did. He blew his head back. That Daft Punk line came full circle. And I low-key feel like I was right again, man. And I was on to something. On my last video about Kendrick's Watch the Party Die release, Air Force Ones on the cover of Watch the Party Die could represent the president, because the Air Force One plane is the aircraft to fly the president of the United States. And we all know the date of when the Watch the Party Die initially released. I'm not gonna say it. You need to go Google it, because last time I said that, I got demonetized for it. Fuck that. It got to do with airplanes, though. And I don't know if I could say this next word with the ist, so I'm not going to say it with the ist, but Kendrick's the new terror of hip-hop, so I feel like that's what he represent with the album cover as well. And I could say I had the right idea. Now, I feel like the term Watch the Party Die is a political statement. You know, like a political party dying, which to me could be Young Money at this point, because they had a horrible...
Damn, Nikki. Whew, Jesus. I agree with that. I try to stay away from certain words now because I'm doing pretty well on YouTube, and I'm trying to stay away from all these things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get demonetized, not at all. But he's pretty right about that. I definitely did correlate the two with Air Force Ones, and then I actually did an episode where I put the Twin Towers on it, but it wasn't. I don't think they were blown up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I said, is Kendrick, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I need to go back and look because I might have to take that episode down.
year this year, if you ask me. Nicki, Drake, Wayne, they were all exposed of being corny haters. Nicki's infamous Coca-Cola rant after the Megan's Law bar and haven't been seen or heard from since. Drake still crying because no one helped him when he got jumped, so he went to the police. And Wayne is playing victim worse than any Karen I've ever came across. I can't believe he complained that damn much. If you would have told me in 2009 that this is what Young Money would turn into, I wouldn't have believed it. I liked Young Money. I know some of you guys try to lie to kick it on here because it's not the trend to like Young Money, but when Young Money was in their prime, I like Young Money. But now they're just hard to listen to. I can't even really listen to them now. I don't take none of this stuff that they say seriously. It's kind of like a cringe to listen to. Maybe in a couple of years, but right now I had to turn the TV off. You see what I did there? Y'all see that? Y'all see what I... okay, never mind. JFK's symbolism hits deeper when you think about it. There are so many conspiracies about why he was assassinated, but it's worth noting he was the president pushing for civil rights. The bill was drafted while he was alive, but it didn't get signed until after his assassination, thanks to his VP, Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, I'm not sure who would represent JFK in this situation. But with this whole Drake isn't black enough narrative, Drake calling Kendrick a savior for black people by labeling him as the Messiah, and the fact that Drake has been seen wearing a Jim Crow shirt while in blackface, yeah, that was wild. Jim Crow laws ended around the time JFK was unalived. He was also unalived in Texas, Drake being so obsessed with Texas. All this just feels connected somehow. It's just hard as hell to piece all together, but something's there. Without JFK, who knows when black Americans would have gained their rights or when Jim Crow would have finally ended, because he's the one who drafted up the documents to pass these laws. But then again, it took him to die to get them signed. Yeah, that's a crazy rabbit hole right there. I don't know though. I don't necessarily think there's a broader
I know a lot about the JFK assassination. I know a lot about that. He's absolutely right when it comes to that. You know the crazy thing about JFK, a lot of people don't know, right? So he was in, I believe he was in, I don't know what war he was in. He was in one of those wars. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what war he was in. But he was a POW and he escaped, right? He got out. And they said, now I don't know if this is true. This is what it was documented, right? He said that he swam 8 miles. I don't know if y'all know how long 8 miles is, but that's a long ass swim. Got one of his comrades. He got one of his soldiers or his platoon people, or whatever you want to call them, and he swam back and forth until he took them all to safety. 8 miles back and forth until he took everybody to safety. That's crazy. Yo, that's nuts. Again, I don't know if y'all know how far 8 miles is, but look it up. That's a long way swimming across the ocean or water or wherever he was at. And he took them back and forth until he was done. Yeah, JFK was built different, man.
Context. Not everything is a 50-word essay in rap. He may just be saying he's assassinating the niggas that are against him, which is Young Money. Kendrick knows how this social media thing works. He knows people are addicted to conspiracy theories and people are painting him as the conspiracy god. You think he doesn't know this? He sees everyone's breakdowns. At this point, I think he's just feeding the people what they want. It's kind of hard to say everything's a reach now, too, especially because everything that Kendrick has dropped so far has been on a political day. The West Coast in this album bleed.
I mean, yeah. Listen, man. Kendrick is on a roll right now, and he can't be stopped.
Through. As a Bay Area native, I really appreciated Kendrick giving the legend E40 his flowers. He's always showed 40 love from day one. He hopped on a song with 40 produced by 40's son, Droopy, called Catch a Fade years ago.
And I ain't never been a time or Jerry, pussy or a rat, pussy on my nutsack.
He also did a song called Rossi Wine with Droopy.
In the middle where the war zone I be on, sipping on a big bottle with that burgundy, motherfuck your styrofoam.
K-Dot would later shout out E40 on his song Money Trees, a single off his Good Kid, Mad City album.
Bump that new E40 at the school, you know big ballin' with my homies. Big ballin' with my homies.
The Like That song that ignited the Civil War was an actual spin to E40's song Look At Me.
Selling lows, is you like that? All 24, you won't go, is you like that?
I'm like that, it's like that. What? I'm like that, it's like that.
Which was featuring the entire Cash Money millionaires, Big Timers, and the Hot Boys, which I thought was funny, that he dissed Drake on a song his team was once on. And his bar on that track about Be Legit and 40 Water, who were in the group The Click, with Kendrick also referencing Tell Him When to Go when he says tell him. It was basically a shout out to E40's hit song Tell Him When to Go.
Niggas clicking up, but they not be legit, no 40 Water, tell him.
He would also channel E40 at the end of the Like That record. And if you listen closely, he also shouts out 40's name twice at the end. He says 40 Water because that's another handle that E40 goes by. Speed up to his Ken and Friends concert, he would have E40 narrate it.
It's your tycoon talking partner E40, also known as 40 Water again. Tonight's been a beautiful sight to see so far. Sometimes all it takes is one domino to fall to get the momentum going. And the West Coast needed this reminder. And I'm proud of us in this moment. How fitting that it's on June 10th. This is a victory lap. Y'all know what I read.
Yeah, Kendrick, man. Kendrick is on a whole nother level. Like, he's been doing a lot of these things, and a lot of stuff that he does, people don't catch it until later. And that's how you become a legend. That's how you keep your name relevant forever. It's like a lot of rappers don't do stuff like this. They so self-centered. And he's like, the crazy thing is you won't even notice until you actually break it down. And he's doing a very good job, man.
But man, as history has shown, there's always been a fire and a certain kind of spark coming up out of Compton especially. Y'all always rise from the ashes and rise to the occasion. You love when they count you out.
And honestly, I thought that was pretty dope. After the release of GNX, people would state that there was a couple of songs that E40 would have sounded perfect on as a feature. Hey Now with Peekaboo were two songs that people wanted to hear a verse from 40. And with Turn Your TV Off outro saying this,
crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, crazy, scary.
That was a spin to a song E40 was on that his son Droopy produced called Stewie. I mean, the E40 influence was intense on this album. On his video Squabble Up, he would show love to different cultures of California. On the Bay Area scene, he would pay homage to the hyphy movement, using the same dancers from 40's old video called Catch a Fade, featuring K-Dot.
Well, and you had been in the other Kendrick video.
Two more. I forget. It's the one with E40 and Droopy had made.
Catch a Fade.
Yeah, Catch a Fade and We Gonna Be Alright.
We Gonna Be Alright. Yeah, which was shot on Treasure Island, right?
But I had a scene at Lake Merritt the day before because they had the inspiration from the Black Panthers pictures right there.
Right.
So they was trying to get something right there. When we did the Catch a Fade, I ain't even... Fody had to tell us who he was. I'm like, I ain't never heard of Kendrick Lamar. Like,
right.
I ain't never heard of Kendrick Lamar.
They are seen doing the same dance movements in both videos.
I checked my IG, then bruh hit me, the director from the video, Culminates, he hit me. He like, man, what's going on, man? It's time now, man. I need you out here for this, man. It's time. Nobody knew it was a Kendrick shoot, though.
Sure.
Because, they was under contract, so couldn't nobody say nothing.
Had you worked with Calmatic before?
Never.
Okay, so it's just communicating, like, I like what you're doing, I see it.
Just that, bro. That's it, just being a person.
Okay, so Calmatic hits you, come to LA. How many days in advance was this?
It wasn't no days in advance. It was a day in advance.
One day,
like
come
a couple
tomorrow.
hours.
Come
Yeah.
tomorrow. How long before the video dropped did you get this call? How long did it take?
Oh, no. All right, so I found out.
That was in August.
The video, we shot that back
shot
in
this in August.
Yeah.
So it was just under wraps. You didn't know what you had done. You was just sitting on it
and
this
I was
whole
under
time.
contract, so I'm not about to say,
Wow. So you signed NDA.
Yo, that's crazy. So he had squabbled up and all that shit done by August, and he just releasing this joint. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Damn.
And all that.
So
Wow.
So I shot that months ago.
One of the dancers were even seen wearing a particular hyphy shirt. This shirt was worn by E40's son Droopy in a magazine spread about the hyphy movement dated all the way back to 2006.
Did they tell you to rock that gear or?
Oh no, so they had stylists, bro.
Whoa, so they were intentional about having y'all dressed that way.
That specific era.
Whoa.
That's why I said that was an emotional attachment to that clothing, because it's like you remember so many people. When you see people dressed like that, you remember so many people. You remember what you was doing. You remember your clothes like that. So
they provided the scraper bikes too?
I think they made those from scratch.
That's crazy,
And they
bro.
had the stylist.
Was the inspiration for that the trunk Boys, was that?
I think yeah, because that gold bike is exactly from that Trunk Boys video, right?
Wow, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's little Easter eggs like that will have you wondering what else are we missing here. It's amazing how he places these Easter eggs in his material. The Bay is known for starting the Black Panther Party, the movement that went against white supremacy led by Huey Newton, with the flags representing Black America. He would double down on the end scene with a Black Panther statue to the left. This served as a double entendre, which that Black Panther served as nostalgia for the millennials and previous gens. Those statues was in everyone's granny's and auntie's house back in the 90s by the fireplace. Also, he did the Black Panther album for Disney. He overseen that whole entire album. And I have yet to hear people compare Black Panther album to GNX, and I feel like GNX sounds like a part 2, a continuation, if that, to Black Panther. That album.
I will say that GNX and Black Panther's soundtrack is actually, it makes you appreciate the Black Panther soundtrack more now when you go back and listen to it. I think a lot of people overlooked that album because it was a soundtrack, but you gotta go listen to that album. It's amazing too, and yeah, believe it or not, that's one of them things in his catalog. You know what it is.
He overseen was a West Coast anthem. He had brought the West together for that album as well. Besides the features with SZA and The Weeknd, one song in particular called Paramedic by SOB/RBE, a Vallejo, California rap group from the Bay Area. That song in particular, they started off with Kendrick saying Killmonger. You know what I mean? You knew this was in Killmonger's perspective. They were talking about putting their fists up like the Black Panthers in that song. The Black Panther movie's opening scene was in Oakland, California, with the Huey Newton picture in the background. Also, Kendrick is known to shout out Huey Newton and the Black Panthers in all kinds of tracks before this. So it's not, this isn't new. This isn't anything new that he hasn't done before. He shouts out the Black Panthers all the time. There are 2 flags that I feel represent Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. The symbolism is deeply poetic. What began as Drake's controversial lyric mocking Black Americans by referencing slavery has ignited Kendrick's activist stance. Kendrick's renewed emphasis on celebrating American and West Coast culture serves as a direct response. It's important to remember that Drake attempted to weaponize the West Coast legends against Kendrick using AI-generated voices, further intensifying the conflict. Ultimately, this represents another full circle moment, a layered double meaning, standing strong in the identity of being a Black American from the West Coast. So for him not to have to worry about getting blackballed and all that, he's not going to show the actual Black Panther logos. He's going to show symbolism. We know that that Black American flag wasn't made for the Black Panther Party, but there's a reason why he showed those 2 flags in a Bay Area scene. Oakland and the Bay will let you know that we know our roots. You also see a book that Kendrick Lamar is reading saying how to be Kendrick for dummies or something like that. I thought that was dope because even though it's saying what it's saying, it's teaching these lames how to be Kendrick basically. Like this is how you be a real nigga type thing. Out here in the Bay, we use the word dummy a lot. Go dumb, get stupid, go dummy, you feel me? And then finally, the painting to the right on the ground with the Black Jesus pictures. That was also very nostalgic because it was hung in our family's houses. However, there was a sign covering it with a 40 price tag, which I feel was another shout out to E40. Not calling 40 Jesus or nothing like that, but just a way of showing the number 40. E40 doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't get his flowers. And this whole thing from the start of the beef all the way to GNX, Kendrick showed the Bay and 40 a lot of love, and I respect him for that. The vibes gave me a Raphael Sadiq from Tony, who is an Oakland native, and some Too Short as well. But for the most part, almost all the tracks sound like an E40 beat. People tend to lump the Bay Area and LA together as if they're interchangeable when it comes to music. LA and the Bay Area are 6 to 7 hours apart by car, and their music scenes reflect that distance. In hip-hop, the Bay Area is often grouped with LA. It doesn't get the recognition it deserves as a pioneer of the genre.
The biggest thing I see about you is everybody say
and that's actually pretty true. When you think of California, most people think of Los Angeles, and they only think of Los Angeles. I think Oakland and the Bay Area and all that, they don't really get the recognition that they deserve, uh, that they should get. And I'm be honest with y'all, E40, there's no one in the history of rap music that raps like E40. And I know a lot of people on the East Coast, they say he's corny, they hate E40 and this and that. But he is definitely one of those pioneers. He's definitely in the same class as a Rakim, is in the same class as a Karis One. He's definitely in the same class as a Kumo D, Big Daddy Kane. He's in that class. Now I don't know if he was. I can't remember if E40 came out when they came out. I don't think so, but I'm saying he's definitely a pioneer of his style in that style of rap. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, they have still not, no one has replicated that outside of Kendrick Lamar, but no one else has replicated that.
He stole Oakland sound.
Yeah.
Who said that? I didn't catch it.
You was here.
I was here,
Of course you was here.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, Mustard, man. It's the bass sound.
I forgot
I ain't
who
gonna say
it was.
his
Who said
name.
that? Well, let's see
I
who's
don't
up
know.
here. Say Gemini was up here.
Nah, I wouldn't say it.
Who else
They
was up
just
here from the
cool
Bay?
people.
I forgot it. Wasn't he 40?
Nah, I'm wearing an E40
You got
t-shirt.
an E40 shirt on now.
Who the hell said that? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Must have been Keisha Cole.
Do you care?
Nah,
I'm not playing.
do I care?
Yeah.
Nah, I got.
It just sometimes get disappointing that the Bay Area doesn't have more advocates or representation for its undeniable contributions to hip-hop. With artists like Kendrick Lamar, who genuinely knows and loves the West Coast culture the way that he does, it shows. You could tell he studied the game from every angle because he doesn't just rep one part. He doesn't just represent where he's from, which is LA. He shows love to the entire West Coast. You could really feel that energy throughout the GNX album. You could truly feel the LA and the Bay culture in one. But at the end of the day, we're all one coast and we're all one big family. We're just distant relatives. This is our coast, this is our family. And like any family, we got our own inner problems, but it doesn't matter. We still family and we riding. Kendrick Lamar implemented the sounds of the West as a whole, from the Bay to LA, from the hyphy movement to the Quiet Storm, and then the G-Funk. And I'll be sharing my perspective as a Bay Area native, which I feel like no one really has. The way Kendrick can capture the essence of the Bay and LA while implementing them in one song, or the whole album for that matter, is insane and impressive. Listening to this album makes me feel like I'm waking up on a Saturday morning, getting ready to watch cartoons and spend the day with my friends riding bikes. Why would I say riding bikes? Or on a Friday night at the movies with my friends looking at breezes to holler at. It's nostalgia for everyone who grew up in the West. The Bay and LA, we aren't the same at all. Two very different cultures. So to be able to channel both cultures in one album is insane. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm a loss of words. Kendrick really is GOAT, and he right now is the king of the West.
Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, man, that was pretty interesting. Little lesson for most people out there that don't know about the Bay Area, that don't know about LA. But yeah, man, Kendrick Lamar is doing this thing out here. So that's a 6 o'clock show, man. I am tired. I am ready to go. Take it down. You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep and all that good stuff. But I'll see y'all in the morning, man. Y'all have yourself a good evening. All right, man. We out of here. See y'all. Peace. Bye.